Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear community, a warm welcome to this special video. We've been waiting for a long time, but now the time has finally come. Today, I have for you the latest lawnmower robot from WORX under test, called the Landroid VISION. It's the first robot of its kind in the family that's supported by an AI-assisted camera, finally eliminating the need for a cumbersome boundary wire while still effectively detecting obstacles. What else the new WORX lawnmower robot has to offer and how it really performs in practice, we'll take a close look at in today's video. So let's start right after the intro, but if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to this channel for free and activate the bell to never miss a new video again. The latest prices of the lawnmower robot can be found below in the video description. Thank you for your support, and now let's get started. It's taken several generations, but now the time has finally come. WORX is releasing its first lawnmower robot on the market, the Landroid VISION, which operates completely without a boundary wire. This is a huge relief for all garden owners. But what the new Landroid VISION really has to offer and whether you should invest or not, let's find out. Starting with the contents of the package, similar to the previously tested predecessor versions, we received the user manual, a few spare blades, anchoring bolts, 2x5 meter magnetic strips, an 18-volt battery with 2 ampere hours, the charging station, and the lawnmower robot. What we'll be looking for in vain in this case is a boundary wire. Instead, we received 2 RFID tags. We'll see what they're for later. So, in this sense, everything important is included to get the new lawnmower robot up and running, and that's exactly what we're going to do now. To do this, we start as usual with the assembly of the new charging station, which consists of a total of 4 parts that are simply plugged together. The station has to be positioned at the edge of the area, and it's recommended to choose a sheltered position if possible. Alternatively, the whole thing can of course also be extended with an optional roof. In addition, the lawnmower robot no longer drives up to the charging station from the side, but rather from the front, and therefore needs at least 2 meters of unrestricted space in front of the charging station. More detailed instructions for this are provided in the user manual. So, after we've found the perfect position for the lawnmower robot, we only need to connect the power cable to the charging station, insert the battery, and manually push the WORX VISION into the station so that it can be fully charged. Then we activate the lawnmower robot at the control panel and turn to the Landroid app. Fortunately, not much has changed here either, because we can easily use the familiar Landroid app for the new Landroid VISION as well. This means for everyone who's not yet owned a Landroid, the app is available for free in the App and Play Store and, after creating a user account, allows you to add the lawnmower robot. To connect, we find a small QR code on the underside of the battery compartment of the lawnmower robot, which we can scan in the app. As with previous models, the connection with the new device works without any problems, so that the Landroid VISION was assigned to my user account within seconds. At the same time, we give the lawnmower robot access to our Wi-Fi network, noting that it's designed exclusively for 2.4 GHz. After that, it's possible to install the latest software update so that the lawnmower robot is optimally prepared for its first job. That's it for the installation, which means that the lawnmower robot is actually ready to use after just a few minutes, at least in theory. In practice, depending on the particularities of the area, further optimizations may be necessary, but more on that later. I would say that we should first take a detailed look at the piece of art. In my opinion, the new WORX VISION already looks impressive from the outside. Compared to the previous version, which I have also tested by the way, if you haven't seen the video yet, I'll link to it up here in the info card in the upper right hand corner. The new Landroid looks like a small spaceship to me. Regarding the processing, it makes a very high quality and extremely robust impression, as we're used to from WORX, with usual dimensions and a total weight including the battery of 14.7 kilograms. This makes it comparable to other models in this size class. The Vision is carried by two large drive wheels on the right and left with a solid diameter of 220 millimeters and a grippy profile. At the rear of the lawnmower robot, there's a very large steering roller that contributes to the good maneuverability of the Landroids and ensures that the lawnmower robot does not get stuck too quickly. Yes, you heard that right. So you might think that when you look at the device, the new Landroid Vision is somehow driving backwards. In practice, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with this principle, as I was still able to detect very good traction thanks to the grippy drive wheels and the large steering roller. The device is designed for a maximum incline of up to 30 degrees, although I think it probably wouldn't be possible to go any steeper with the front-wheel drive. Furthermore, the floating mowing deck can be found on the underside, which we already know from the previous version. This allows for adaptation to uneven surfaces so that the grass cover is not immediately scalped on smaller elevations on the lawn. The cutting disc itself has a total of 3 blades in the smallest model, the WR206e, a cutting width of 180 millimeters and a speed of a whopping 2,800 revolutions per minute. Additionally, the device is finally IPX5 certified, which allows us to easily clean the lawnmower robot with a garden hose. That's it for the special feature on the underside. Let's move on to the top. To do this, it must be said that the two smaller M models for 600 and 800 square meters still have a manual cutting depth adjustment that can be regulated from 30 to 60 millimeters. However, with the larger L models, this is completely electric. Next to it is the battery compartment for WORX's 20-volt PowerShare batteries. From the factory, the 600 meter square variant comes with a small, cute 2 ampere-hour battery, which I would personally replace with a larger one right away. Thanks to the practical PowerShare system, this is easily possible, so I operated the Vision with a large 5 ampere-hour battery. This means that the lawnmower can run continuously for a few hours in practice without having to recharge each time, which is very advantageous. To control the lawnmower, it also has a small control panel on the top where all current messages are displayed and where we can make the most important settings directly on the device. The menu structure is identical to the previous version, so it's simple and clear and does not require familiarization. Furthermore, on the top, you can find a rain sensor, the large red stop button, and right at the front, you could almost say the camera arm. Yes, you heard that right. The new WORX Vision is based on an intelligent camera system, as the name suggests. For this purpose, the WORX Landroid has been given a full HD wide-angle camera with HDR and automatic white balance for orientation. The camera, or rather the artificial intelligence of the lawnmower, is trained to recognize the texture of the grass and other surfaces as well as objects. So it doesn't need GPS, GNSS, or UWB as we know it from other devices already presented. The question arises, how well does the functional principle and recognition really work in practice? Honestly, I have to say that WORX has done really good work here. The AI recognition is quite reliable and allows for precise navigation. Hard edges, such as the transition to paving or island beds, were always detected and avoided without any problems in my test. It only becomes critical with wildflowers or other freestanding plants on the lawn. This can happen because the Vision does not recognize a clear boundary and flattens everything like a bulldozer. To avoid this, as already mentioned, we get 2 by 5 meter magnetic strips. However, I cannot explain why they have to be in a bright neon green color. So, it serves as an additional boundary at places where the AI cannot detect clear texture differences. This means that all freestanding flowers and beds, slopes over 30% inclination, and areas that should not be mowed must be delimited with the magnetic strip. Otherwise, the lawnmower will simply continue driving. The recognition of the magnetic strip worked without any major difficulties in my test, as with the predecessors. The only disadvantage is that depending on the area shape, type of area, and number of objects, 2 by 5 meters may be more or less sufficient. For my area, I needed more than 25 meters of magnetic strips since the lawn area is very open and partly merges into a wild meadow. In practice, one could even use the magnetic strip of the already tested off-limit module, as shown in the video in the top right corner. However, it should be noted that the new green magnetic strip is slightly thicker, thus providing a significantly better signal strength and being more reliably detected. Another feature that the new Landroid Vision also has on board is multi-zone management. However, in this case, since we do not have a boundary wire and the robotic lawnmower does not voluntarily leave the lawn area, we need to inform it using so-called RFID tags. These are the frisbee-like green rings that are based on radio frequency technology and serve as orientation for different zones for the robotic lawnmower. The installation is quite simple. For a zone change, we need a total of 2 RFID tags, which can be placed directly opposite each other at a distance of up to 6 meters. Then, we let the robotic lawnmower scan the area for RFID tags, after which it automatically explores the zones. Once it reaches an RFID tag while traversing the lawn counterclockwise, it makes a 90-degree right turn and lands on the next RFID tag in zone number 2. In total, up to 3 zones are possible. In practice, I find this principle to be quite smart since multiple zones can be defined and managed without much effort. Detection is just as reliable as with the magnetic strips, and settings regarding the schedule for different zones can be made both on the device and in the app. Furthermore, the robotic lawnmower does not even need the charging station, so I can easily place it on another suitable lawn area and let it mow there. While we're on the topic of zones and their demarcation, let's also take a look at the very well-known cut-to-edge function. As can be seen, the Landroid Vision also advertises with a large cut-to-edge lettering on the side, promising us mowing close to the edge. Yes, that's right. The emphasis is on close to the edge, not edgeless. In practice, I measured the distance between the robotic lawnmower and the level lawn edge and found that it varied between 5 and 15 centimeters, depending on how well it detects the edge. Personally, I can imagine that with increasingly optimized software and a learning AI, the distance can be significantly reduced. Additionally, you have to add 6 centimeters because the blades are not directly placed at the edge, as was the case with its predecessor. However, this distance cannot be eliminated through software. Overall, I can say that the mowing result of the Landroid Vision looks quite solid. While the robotic lawnmower does not have a systematic mowing pattern, it achieves a very clean and precise cut due to the floating mowing deck and high rotational speed, as can be seen in the video. Obstacles were also reliably detected in practice and precisely circumnavigated. In the video, one could almost think that the mower touches the obstacles, but that is not the case in 80%. The lawnmower goes around them with a surprisingly small distance, which I've not seen before, thanks to the rear steering roller that provides excellent maneuverability. Moreover, the artificial intelligence-based orientation works very well, as the lawnmower in my case never left the lawn area. The only downside is that the mower only detects its surroundings during daylight by default, and thus can only mow during that time. On the positive side, there is an optional additional module available, a headlamp for the lawnmower, which enables it to mow without issues at night. So, that's the new WORX Landroid Vision. I'm very curious about your opinion of this new lawnmower, so please write your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel for free and activate the bell to not miss any future videos. You can find the latest prices in the video description. Thank you very much for your support. Have a nice day and take care. Goodbye.